Welcome back, students. This is our last video of this topic of this chapter. Now let us discuss more ahead about this. In previous videos we discussed about the respiration, the types of respiration, that is aerobic, anaerobic, then little bit more about its similarities and differences. Then about the breathing, that in human beings how the breathing occurs, what are the different pathways, and its diagram also. That is very important point of view of the exams. Now why do we sneeze? Do you think about this question? Because when we are breathing in, ultimately what we are taking? We are breathing the air, and in that air some pollen grains or unwanted materials are present. When they entangle with the hairs, the uneasiness we feel. That's why we sneeze, so that unwanted material will not go inside our lungs when we are respiring, when we are breathing. Okay, so that's why the particles that get trapped in the hair present in our nasal cavity, and then they irritate the lining of the cavity, and that's why we sneeze. So the sneezing expels these foreign particles from the inhaled air, and a dust free clean air enters our body. So when we sneeze, you should cover your nose so that the foreign particles you expel are not inhaled by some another person. Something more about it, like you can do the pranayam. As nowadays this is not being practiced, but this is the best way to increase the capacity of your body of oxygen carrying capacity. Because nowadays what is happening, we are sitting for a long time, we are not, because in that time we are not taking that much sufficient oxygen. So this should be practiced. That means this is a regular traditional breathing exercise, that is the pranayam, and that can increase the capacity of the lungs to take in more air, and thus the more oxygen can be supplied to the body cells, and that release in the release of the more energy. Now breathing in other animals, this was earlier it discussed in case of human beings. Now in case of animals, how do they respire? Different organism, they possesses different organs for the exchange of gases of oxygen and carbon dioxide for respiration. In humans it is done by the lungs, but in animals like in elephants, lions, cows, in all these, like birds also, they also respire through the lungs. But the animals like cockroaches, mosquitoes and insects, they respire through the tiny hose the present on it, that is named as spiracles, or you can say the trachea. They don't have the lungs in them. In organisms like fishes, they respire through the gills. In earthworm, their skin is moist and thin. The skin is thin also and moist also. They have the property of respiration through the skin. And in case of insects, as I told you, that they respire through the spiracles. The exchange of gases takes place through the spiracles. So the first cases of cockroach, they respire through the small openings. They are known as the spiracles. They are known as the air tubes, called as a trachea for the exchange of gases. As you can see, these small tubes, they are actually what? They are trachea. Okay, and that's their other name is spiracles. Now the oxygen rich air that rush through these spiracles, what will happen? They will enter to the tracheal tubes. And on the other hand, you can clearly see that these are the small openings. They are known as spiracles, and that was the trachea. Now through trachea, what will happen? The oxygen will enter into the body. I'll show you back again the trachea, then the spiracles into tracheal tubes. What will happen? They reach to the every cell, and there similarly carbon dioxide from the cell will goes to the same path, that is to tracheal tubes, and from there to the spiracles. Now the air tubes or trachea, they are found only in the insects and are not in any other group of animals. So in insects, the respiration is through the spiracles. What is the pathway of breathing over here? Oxygen in air will move to the spiracles, then to the tracheal tubes, reaching to the body cell. The respiration takes place, that is breakdown of the food, giving the energy, carbon dioxide, and during the respiration, then back to the body cell again, the waste, after the exchange of gases. From the body cell, they will go to the tracheal tube, then to spiracles, and ultimately expelled out through the same path, the one same path. It is not like that it will follow the different one. In case of earthworm, their skin, as I told you, they are thin and moist, so they respire through the skin, moist skin. So moist and slimy on touching, and gases can easily pass through them. What will happen? as their skin is thin and moist, it will reach to the blood from the cell. Okay, when respiration takes place, ultimately the carbon dioxide will move out to the same path. This is in the case of the earthworm. Next we have the frogs. Frogs, where they live, they usually found in the water as well as on the land also, and they have the pair of the lungs like the human beings. Then so they breathe through the lungs, and they can also breathe through their skin, because the skin is moist when they, as they are living in water also, so they have the both the properties. In the case of fishes, fishes respire through the gills that take up the oxygen that is dissolved in the water. So they are adapted to live in the water. They have the gills to respire in water. Okay, we can't respire in the water. We can't take the, we don't have this adaptive feature to absorb the oxygen which is dissolved in the water. Only the fishes they have. So they supply the blood vessels for exchange of gases. Again the same pathway through the gills. Oxygen rich air is going through the gills, and ultimately carbon dioxide is expelled out from the gills only. That expels through the gills, as you can see over here. Next we have the dolphin and the whales. Dolphin and whales, as they are fishes we are saying, but actually they are the mammals. They don't have the gills. They have the nostrils. Their other name, it can be asked in the exam, what is another name of the nostrils that are, or the holes which are present in the dolphins and the whales, and their nostril is present above the head region, and they are known as a blowholes. Okay, and that is on the upper part of the head. This allows the breathing air. When they swim in the water, they come up time to time, and then what will happen, they will trap the air, they go inside the water, and they can stay in water for a long time, and ultimately when there is a need of oxygen, again they come on the in the air. Then they come out to the surface of from time to time to breathe in air. As you can see over here, as the dolphin moving down to the water, when they want to breathe in air, they need to come over the surface. This portion is known as a blowhole. What a type of respiration in the plants? Yes, plants also respire. But what is the source? As in the previous classes we have studied about the tiny holes. They are named as stomata. Okay, so this stomata, the exchange of gases takes place, and another one is the through the roots of the plant. When they photosynthesis, during the photosynthesis, what happened? The absorption of carbon dioxide is taken in during the photosynthesis process, and oxygen is released out through the special organs that are the stomata. They are the tiny pores which are present on the leaves. And another one is respiration. Plants, yes, they also respire. In that case, what will happen? They take up the oxygen and take out the carbon dioxide. Respiration occurs during the night. Like plants also respire for their survival, as they are performing the photosynthesis for making the food. In that case, there is exchange of gases, but they also respire for their survival. They take in the oxygen from the air, give out the carbon dioxide. Now the cells, they will take up the oxygen, they will break down the glucose into carbon dioxide and water. This is the end product after consumption of the oxygen. Okay, so that's why there is one amazing fact need to be known. Each part of the plant that independently take in the oxygen from the air and give out the carbon dioxide. Now the leaves, what we are talking about again and again, that they exchange the gases. Ultimately the name comes over here, that is the stomata, that is responsible for exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now in the woody stem of the plant, they have the tentacles. As you have seen in the banyan trees, they are having the hanging roots, long roots, they are strong hanging roots. They respire through these long roots. They are known as a prop roots. Even through the roots also, as in the previous chapter in the soil, you have studied about the soil also consists of the air. Okay, when you mix the water into the soil, what will happen? What you observe, the few bubbles are coming out. So here it proves that air is occupied in the soil particles. So the roots which goes deep into the soil, from the soil space, the spaces which is present between the soil, from there the root respire. That is through the root hairs, the special organs. This is during the daytime when the photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is taken, oxygen is released. and during the daytime their respiration, the oxygen is taken and carbon dioxide is released. During the night time this respiration occurs in some of the plants. During the night they don't photosynthesis, but during night the respiration is continued the same. That is, oxygen is taken and carbon dioxide is released. That's why it is recommended not to sit or sleep under the trees. Why? Because the carbon dioxide is released from the plants, and which is again said the carbon dioxide is released and oxygen is taken in by the plants during the night. That process is known as respiration. So, carbon dioxide released during the night. That's why it is recommended not to sit or sleep under the trees. And there is a myth also that there are the ghosts in the trees. That actually a fake thing. But what is happening over there? Carbon dioxide is released. That's why when we sit or sleep under it, we feel suffocated. And somehow it is linked with some myths. That's why they say that we feel the suffocation under the tree during the night time. This is what the respiration in case of the plants through the stomata and the small root hairs. And ultimately you can say that suffocation, then difficulty in breathing, ultimately this is all about the breathing in the plants. And as again to recall it again, that all the living organisms need to respire to get the energy needed for the survival. This is all about this chapter. As you know that different types of breathing in different types of organisms, like in humans we have studied, as well as in plants, as well as animals, because all the living organisms, they respire. Thank you. We'll meet soon in our upcoming videos for the next chapters. Stay tuned with us. Thank you.